Kathy O'Connor. How are you? Where are they going this morning?
They're flying into BWI, and then they'll be bused from there to Washington. They'll see the World War II Memorial, Vietnam Memorial, Korean, and all the memorials that are right there on the mall. And
then fly back.
And fly back. And they'll have a welcoming party for them. People will welcome them when they get to the airport in DC.
That's fantastic. It's so amazing to see the Patriot Guard riders here, and so when they get to DC, they'll have a welcoming committee as well.
Yes.
That's just amazing.
Good morning. Thank you, sir. Good morning. Coffee down there for you. Nice to see that Legion hat.
We got coffee and rolls right here. Maybe check in down here a little bit later.
How are you, sir?
Okay. This is Jamie Allman
with 97.1 FM Talk.
Oh,
yeah. How are you, sir? So
you were in...
thank you.
You're in the Pacific Theater, right?
Yeah, the late day.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That was tough.
Well, I got in there later, you know, when the war was over already, really.
Yeah.
I had to take advanced training, and then they dropped a bomb, and that's when they sent me over.
Okay. After the bomb drop?
Yeah. That's.
Were you actually in Japan then? Were you in Japan?
No. See, I took my basic training in Fort Walters, Texas, and then in Fort Ord, California, they said I had to take advanced training because they was going to invade Japan, you know. And in the meantime, they dropped that bomb. And then, well, see, then they still had to take people across for doing.
Still sent you over for a while?
Yeah, that was over 16 months in the Philippines.
We're glad you made it back.
Yeah, we are.
So you can go on this flight today.
You excited about the trip?
Oh, I'm excited, very excited. I wanted to see. I've been on the Pacific. I want to see what it looks like on the other side. Get acquainted with some of these boys who've been in Europe.
That's great. That's great. You served in the Pacific, huh?
Yes.
Being in the Navy in the Pacific was not easy.
Well, we did 3 invasions. Well, you know, on the road to Tokyo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Luzon, Iwo Jima, and Okinawa.
Wow. Well, thank you for your service, sir.
Well, thank you for this trip. This is amazing.
Nice to meet you, and thanks for your service. Can I get...
Kind of excited.
USS Notable, Pearl Harbor.
Oh, that's yeah.
I know.
Were you in Pearl Harbor when?
No, I was in the North Atlantic first. I didn't go in until after Pearl Harbor.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate your service.
Thank you.
Dad, you're a handsome dude. Thanks for your service.
Hello, sir. Nice to see you.
See you.
So it's father and son. we're videotaping this because we're going to put it on our website, and we're doing a little story about the honor flights and wanting to share the honor flights with folks. So this is quite an honor, I would imagine, for you as the son of a World War II veteran to be able to go with him on the trip to DC,
yes,
huh?
We're looking forward to it.
How are you, sir? Air Force, is that right?
Air Force, right.
Air Force? And where were you in World War II?
Well, I was mainly mechanic and getting my knuckles busted.
So you were making sure the planes were flying and staying up in the air?
Yep, so that they could use them.
That's great.
Fix them so they could use them.
Where were you stationed?
Stationed mostly stateside.
Good, okay. Now is it Sergeant Scott?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I wanted to make sure I got the rank right. Sergeant Scott, thank you very much for your service.
You're welcome.
Have a good time today. We appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Lieutenant, how are you?
No,
I'm Jamie Allman. I'm with 97.1 FM Talk.
Hi,
nice
Jamie.
to see you, sir.
Glad to know you.
Thank you very much for your service.
Oh, thank you.
Is this a family affair, right? You're going with is your wife going with you
Oh
today?
no.
Oh, okay.
I'm going with Debbie. She's my escort.
Great, fantastic. Now, how do you feel about being able to go on the honor flight?
Oh, it's wonderful. Yeah, it'd be nice to go up and see the memorials.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to recognize our heroes.
Oh.
So thank you very much for all you've done for the United States.
Thanks again.
Yeah, honestly, it's a tremendous privilege to be able to watch you all take off on your trip today. So Have fun.
Thank you.
All right, Lieutenant.
Thanks
Take care.
again.
I wanted to tell you thank you so much for your service.
Oh, well, you're welcome. It was my pleasure. And I couldn't believe this would ever happen to me.
You didn't think you'd ever be able to do this, huh?
I had no idea of it. My dad was an old Army man, and he served. He was Spanish-American War veteran. Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah. And he was the Honor Color Guard for Teddy Roosevelt, the 1904 World's Fair. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah. So I didn't have any brothers in service, so I just did it. And I was just a little gal from Union, Missouri, and had never flown. And man, I went to LaGuardia. They put me aboard a plane, and we flew from Newfoundland to Greenland, down to Scotland, and on down to London. I was finally sent to hit the big headquarters in England, the European Theater of Operations. There were 7 Army camps, and the gals were one of the Army camps. And I rode to work every day in the back of a truck.
That's fantastic.
It is. My dad and I, him and all his medals.
Look at that.
That was my husband
and
and I.
wedding picture.
Yeah. And
Wow,
then
so your husband was
he was in the Army, and he was in supplies over in England. This was before I went overseas. That was in Flying Magazine.
Uh-huh.
It was the Museum of Flying in New York.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
We've been watching these things since we were kids.
Wow.
Great trip.
All of our esteemed veterans take off on their...
I can't believe this. They made such an issue of World War II in the last couple years. Up to that time, nobody thought much about it.
Is that right? So you felt, well, maybe like people weren't paying much attention, but suddenly, yes. Now you were, it says here, Lieutenant Commander in the Navy nurse as well,
right.
In Guam, in Hawaii.
For a short time.
For a short time.
Most of my time was spent in the States.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you all did such great work. I'll tell you what, we appreciate your service. Al Cassie, you've seen how many of these?
About 5 or 6.
And it doesn't get any less emotional, does it?
Nope, it's hard.
It's quite amazing, especially when you see the sons and daughters be able to go with their
62-year-old sons and daughters taking their 85-year-old parents. And we've been told by the people that run this that a lot of these vets have never talked about the war, and it's on this trip they finally open up.
Wow. Wow.
It's amazing.